All right, well, welcome to the shop. This came in today. This is a 1997 Trek Y3. Came in for, I'd call it an annual service or a tune-up, but it looks like it's been a little while since it's been in the shop. So we're going to go through, make sure that everything works right on this, give it a good cleaning, check everything over, and get this one back on the trail. So join along with us, and let's get this thing running again. All right. The doctor is in. So first thing I like to do with these bikes, particularly when they're dirty like this, is we'll go ahead and we'll pull the wheels off, and I'll pull the drivetrain off, and just give the whole frame a good cleaning. So let's get started with that. So let's take a quick look at the components that we're pulling off. So these old Altus derailleurs are actually pretty good. They're pretty durable. As you can see, this one's pretty dirty. A lot of buildup on the derailleur pulleys. It just hasn't been cleaned in a long time. Everything is moving okay, so that's good news. It just needs a little bit of cleaning. Crankset, same thing. Pull the drive side off, put it in the parts cleaner. It's actually in pretty good shape. A little bit of wear on the middle chainring there, which is pretty common. Most folks don't shift a whole lot, so this middle ring here will get worn more than the others, but it's in good shape. And the chain's been stretched a bit. It's just dirty. So we'll throw all of these in the parts cleaner and get back to cleaning up the rest of the bike. So this cassette is in pretty rough shape, not too uncommon for around here. Just super dirty, kind of hard to see on the video if you don't look at these all day long every day, but that cog right there, that would be the fourth cog. That one looking a little long, so we'll give her a good cleaning, put everything back together, and see how she runs. All right, so we're gonna get this sprayed down. Probably should have wiped it down before I add this stuff to it, just to get rid of dust, but I'm just making mud. One thing we're gonna pay real close attention to is the frame tubes. We have seen times where bike is left outside during the winter, and with the amount of rain and snow and then our temperature variations that we have here, you'll get a freeze thaw. Water can get inside the frame, crack a tube. More often than not, when we see that happen, it seems to be this tube, the non-drive side chainstay, that has the problem. And don't know for sure why that happens. What I think is the cause is people will lean their bike with the non-drive side up against a wall, and the water will settle into this tube here, then go through that freeze thaw, water will expand, and it just pops that tube. So we try to pay really close attention to that, make sure that we aren't trying to repair a broken bike that you just can't get back to working again. These brushes are super handy. You can get them at pretty much any hardware store. They'll bend into whatever shape you want to bend them into, and they get into a lot of little nooks and crannies. And front derailleurs, particularly old school bikes that have front derailleurs and full suspension, there's always like little spots that are kind of hard to get to with just a rag. So this thing will get inside a lot of that stuff. It was a pretty good job. This is more than we would probably do for just kind of a standard service, but been wanting to get something like this on film for a while, and this gave us a good opportunity, so it'll be fun. the frame pretty well cleaned up and ready to go. I'm gonna run to the parts cleaner and pull the chain, the crankset, and the derailleur out of there, and get those cleaned up and back on the bike here. All right, so here's some of the stuff out of the cleaner. You can see the chain came out pretty nice. I mean, it's still an older chain, but got most of the gunk pulled off of that. The crankset looks real good. Still a little bit on there, but for a quick cleaning, I think it came out really nice. And then the rear derailleur, boy, what a difference that made. The pulleys are actually in really good shape. There's a little bit of like surface corrosion on the cage there, but that's nothing that I'm really worried about. And the pulleys move nice and smooth, so that's really nice. Springs on this are good. It's ready to keep on riding. So let's get that cassette cleaned up, and then we'll start putting the bike back together. All right, now that we got the cassette, the derailleur, the chain, and the crankset clean, let's get those put back on the bike. So let's get at it. So one thing that I forgot to do earlier was to check the alignment of the derailleur hanger here. This thing can kind of get bent a little bit. You fall over, you lay the bike down, you can get a little out of skew. So we're going to put the rear wheel on. It doesn't need to have the cassette on it. But we're going to put that on and just check for alignment there. Here, this is the Park derailleur alignment guide. Every shop has got one of these. With these, so this old, I'll show you here. On the older bikes, this is your derailleur hanger. This is the part that we're going to attach the derailleur to. If these get bent significantly and you try and straighten them back out, sometimes they can break. And if that happens, then you're looking for a new frame. On the new bikes, boy, anything past probably late 90s, 2000 or so. This is a part that is separate from the frame, and if they break, you just put a new one on. Simple enough. The hard part about that is last time I checked, there was over 600 different derailleur hangers out there, so that's a little bit of an issue, but this one's in good shape. We're ready to go. Actually, this wheel is pretty dirty. So I'm going to take it over to the truing stand. Some of the spokes are pretty out of tension. So we're going to give it a once over, clean things up real nice. We've done such a good job cleaning the rest of the bike. Be ashamed to have a really dirty wheel. So we're going to get that cleaned up. What a difference a day makes, huh? So gave the hub a good cleaning, trued the wheel up, cleaned up the spokes, cleaned up the brake track on the rim. So everything's looking good. Let's put this baby back together. You can see these brake pads are in pretty rough shape. You can see right along here, that shiny line there, that's actually a lip that has been worn into, you can kind of see it a little bit better there, been worn into the pad from the rim itself. So the best option for this, we can kind of see it's getting worn down here. Best option is going to be, we'll just put new pads on there and it'll stop like new again. So off to the next part. Up to another thing that the customer has asked for is they've got a Schrader valve on that wheel and a Presta valve on this one, so we're going to switch out the tubes so that they've got matching valves front and rear. Well, here we go. We finished up the front wheel. I forgot to turn the camera back on, but we got it all tied up, shifting the way it's supposed to. Got new brake pads on the rear. The pads up front are just fine. Put a new tube in the front, so they've got matching valves on front and rear. I'll put a new cap on that. Trimmed up the shifter cable here, put a new cap on that. Cleaned everything up, lubricated the chain, and then I hit the frame and everything else with a light, this is the showroom polish and protectant that we use from Finish Line, and it just kind of makes the bike look a little nicer. I figure after we did that much work, it'd be nice to kind of finish it off with a little bit of a polish. But there you have it, cleaned and polished and tuned and running like new again, and this thing is ready for a bunch more miles. So if you got any questions, feel free, throw some comments below. If you've got any comments about the video or the channel, let me know. This is something new for us. We're trying to figure some things out, and we're having a lot of fun in the meantime. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.